Hello collective, welcome back to the channel. For those of you who are new, there is a subscribe button below and a notification bell. That was hard to get out this morning. Now I'm jumping on to give you a quick energy update. Now the update is we do have a solar flare happening right now today and yesterday. Now also we've had Pluto in retrograde for I think it was about 5 months. Pluto is transformation, death, rebirth, transformation, and also of the underworld, of your shadow side and of the shadow side within, people, places and situations around us. So a lot of transformation over the last 5 months, coming out of that now into beautiful Libra energy. Libra brings balance, harmony, but it will, everything has a shadow side. So just remember, it'll show you where you're imbalanced, where you've been imbalanced. It does represent scales, the karma, justice, balance, fairness, equality, all of that type of issues will come to the surface, but it does bring more balance and harmony in, okay? For you. And Libra is, Venus is back in its home. So that's love, beauty, nurturing, the value of those things in your life. So we are reflecting on that. Everything has a negative and a positive thought aspect in that. So remember that. Also, what I want to talk about is because, the messages coming through, the clients, I'm seeing the messages coming through, the validations, clarifications. Look, everybody right now is super scattered. You are still feeling the effects of the eclipses, and you will, because their energy has, the energy of the 2 eclipses shook you up. It's like got you and shaken you and rattled you, okay? It's really disturbed all the fragments within your soul and within your energy field, for change, for upgrade, for release, for transformation of Pluto. So frequencies have shifted now. Now they haven't quite formed or fully come back into balance, which you may feel a little bit. Now Libra or Venus goes back into Libra, into its home, into itself, and nurturing and deep nurturing, and where you are or are not. Okay, being loved and valued. And also there could be an increase within your ability to love, give and receive, or an increase or an upgrade in what love is and beauty and nurture is for you. So a lot of you, your foundations are being changed, rocked, disturbed, reconfigurated. So that's a big word for early morning. So you don't feel stable. A lot of you are in fight and flight. Now, a couple of things that have been coming up for a lot of people out there is when you have a frequency distortion, or your divine energy within self is in an upgrade, it distorts your energy field. It distorts the energy field of lots of things. So we see higher amounts of accidents, okay? We see higher amounts of, weird things happening in your body, in your, basically body function, body organs, and also your thoughts and where you're connected. So all of a sudden you're like, overnight, I don't want to live here or be here or do this, or I can't connect here or here. Now what we do is we fight this and go but what you should do is just ground, earth, detach. A lot of people are really falling out. Doesn't have to be conflict, falling out of sync, falling out with people around them. As I said, it doesn't have to be conflict. It can be, we do not see life the same. We do not have matching programs. We do not, and it's really obvious. It's something that cannot be worked with because it's such an energy frequency distortion. It's so different. Okay, now that could be the people around you, the environment you're in, working with, or the people around you. So all of a sudden, we're really starting to feel the big pull, that massive, massive pull that we've been talking about, where you're on planet A or planet B. You know, you either resonate or you do not. So there's so many shifts in your energy field. Yeah, so this could be stuff you don't want to look at, you don't want to see, or you can't engage in anymore. And some people are just blind to the fact, and that's not being mean or anything like that. They're blind to the fact that things have changed. You know, they're blind to the fact that we just are not on the same page. We do not resonate energetically. That doesn't mean I dislike you or there's not a lack of whatever. It just means we're not vibing, okay? And we've got the Tower card, wish fulfillment and resistance. A lot of you, and I have to be honest, brutally honest here, because to get Spirit's messages coming through are to be brutally honest, to get you in alignment in your truth, which brings you into your alignment, which brings you into your authenticity. A lot of you, a lot of us, self included, we're all striving for this wish fulfillment or what you've always wanted, right? And what do? You get in resistance with it. I mean, that's human nature. That's most people I see. Right before you've crossed the finish line, you roll backwards and head the other way or get diverted or whatever. A lot of us have realized that it was you that was the one in resistance to your wish fulfillment. Okay, and there's a sudden Tower in this. Okay, now I have got another message here, and group 1, that was your message there. Group 2, someone that was in resistance to their wish fulfillment. This is taking things for granted. This is when you continually get given gifts, support by the universe, the right people, places, situations. This is when the universe continually puts things on your path that you continue to be in resistance, fight against, don't want to see it, don't want to hear it, not ready for it yet. See, not bringing it into reality. Judgment of the fates. So there's a lesson in everything, isn't there? And the lesson here was, for some people, take it if it applies, whether it's happening to you or reverse roles. It could be the other person that's now learning this. Some people will resist their absolute wish fulfillment that was brought to them, but fated by the divine. They just resist it and resist it and resist it. And the universe just keeps trying to put you in alignment, okay? At some point, you do have to awaken to that and bring it into reality or face reality. This is a bit of that Pluto energy. A lot of people may be where they didn't want to see something, they're being forced to see it. They could have been in fantasy world. They could have been always going to, or thought, this could be someone who thought they brought a lot to the table and they didn't, thought they gave a lot of love but they didn't, thought they gave a lot of support, but realistically when it's revealed, and they didn't want to look at that, but now it's revealed, judgment and fates. There has been a lot of mirror work with the universe. See that moon, the blindfold that was on, and it is seeing people for who they are, what they are, for the efforts you did or didn't get. or do or be or whatever. And that's what these fates are showing. I mean, if you're moving on, moving forward, things are moving forward, it's you know, clearly you were doing the work on some level to get that energy shift and frequency shift. For a lot of people, it's hitting everyone anyway. It hits everyone. It hits the people who have done the work and people who have not done the work. And, you know, some people wobble and stagger through and aren't well and, you know, get through the rough waters or get a few hits but get through it. Some other people are not, because they really just didn't do the frequency work, which is the mind work, as in your belief systems, how you think, and the realities, the false realities that were in place by you and by others. And now in that frequency or connected to that frequency, which brings the resistance to change and flow and upgrade. And then, you know, you get this surge of a power hit that upgrades you. Also, I want to add in here, let's say you've had an energy upgrade and all of a sudden you're like, everything's going wrong. Like why am I getting hit and hit and hit and hit, right? Well, number one, if you are creeping towards your birthday this year, you'll have an accumulation of 3 things. The year, from birthday to birthday. 2025, 9 is the last 10 years of accumulation of karma and everything and life review. And then we have the south and north node where you're being upgraded from birth to now. And now the north is the south node. Then now forward is getting destined alignment. So you're being hit with frequency energies and frequency upgrades of the soul and the heart, which are and authenticity, frequencies from the divine, from your higher contract, that is like bombarding your energy field, distorting your energy field. Once it is distorted, the shake up, let's call it the shake up, right? The tower from the universe. Everywhere you've got resistance or limits will be tested, and your energy does not fit around the people, places, and situations that it was around. So everything seems like it's falling apart and being dismantled, or so to speak, right? All it is your frequency has shifted and you'll be realigned before too long. So but human nature, and we all do it, we get really, really caught up in everything's going wrong. Yes, for change to happen, for growth to happen, everything has to be shaken up. When you shake something up, the toxicity has to come up. That's what change is. That's what growth is. It doesn't happen in this beautiful, you know, it's disturbing, it's uncomfortable, it's energy that doesn't connect anymore, is meaning you're in the middle of a storm, okay? See, inner. So somebody here's or you will be, or you have been taken into that deep, dark inner soul growth, like soul, things you didn't want to look at, basically. I'll be in there. And this tower is doing you a favor. Whatever's happening now, and if there's a lot happening around you, it's just a shift of frequency. This tower, see, is trying to bring balance back to you, things back in order, or the next natural evolution of you into your future, where you couldn't do it. That's when the universe steps in. Whatever's happening, this is the universe stepping in. This is above you. This is the universe. When we say the universe, it's energy, it's frequency. But when I say the universe, I'm talking about your guides, your spirit guides, or if you don't believe in any of that, your higher self knows the journey, knows the story, knows the path, knows the destiny that your soul and heart came in here to fulfill or learn or do or be or challenge, right? So it's like, okay, your higher self activates. an energy change, because it follows the story of your destiny and your alignment, and it gets triggered, and then it tells the lower body, okay, this is what's got to happen, okay? And that's all connected to your divine source self, all right? So you can't stop that stuff. It's a higher power, but it's actually you. I know. Go down the rabbit hole, hey? So lots of energy, frequencies, changes, distortions, bodies, up, down, weird things. If you're having a lot of things, I'll just give you some really 3D things. Like a lot of people out of the blue are having, you know, strange illnesses or body things happen, or, you know, weird those little accidents that come out. That's because your energy's not quite, it's shifting, everything's shifting. So you do have to be more careful, more cautious, and more grounded and more protective of your energy. Other things could be things like, you know, you go to buy something, or every shop you go to doesn't have what you got. Every appointment you book, there's no appointment. You go somewhere else and you get into the best appointment or the best doctor or the best this, and you're like, yeah, okay, there's signs that your energy is no longer resonating with the old frequencies, okay? Overnight, I've had people just wake up and go, wow, we're moving, or we're changing careers, or we're, you know, separating or whatever. Just overnight, just there's no malice, no emotion, just it's like a cord just got plugged, a cord got pulled from the power point, you know, just, yep, energy's disconnected there. So just keep all that in mind. Yeah. So basically, what is this? I mean, the devil card on wish fulfillment. Now, it could be everywhere and anywhere you didn't see, took things for granted, overindulged, were toxic. That could be entitlement. That could be, you know, just Pluto. You know, showing you your shadow side of where you might have been a bit greedy, a bit this, a bit that, a bit whatever. That resistance that you've had, though, we have victory over it, which is great. See, this is just a shake-up. This is just a temporary shake-up of your energy, showing you where you've been a little bit of a, what's the word? You know, when you're like, where we could be a better person, where we where we may have been a bit toxic or a bit selfish or a bit self-indulged or a bit stuck in our ways or a bit this or a bit that or a bit, yeah, because sun on this, nothing coming into reality, nothing coming into fruition, right? Sun card's illumination. It's clarity. It's seeing that reminds me, the devil card on that and that reminds me of, you know, I'm gonna. I know I'm a giver. What'd you give? No, I gave. I'm a giver. I'm really loving. Oh, what? How are you loving? How did you give? What effort did you put in? Oh no, I really love this or that or did. And you're like, when you actually put it on the meter, you gave 5%. Or I gave to the wrong. This can be toxicity. These are only examples, guys. This could be, you know, someone who only gave, their wish fulfillment was to toxicity, who gave to the wrong people, who engaged and delved and was attracted, admired, was following, was led, was, you know, bound by toxicity, indulged in toxicity over other things. Well, they are getting out of that. They are breaking through it, or you're seeing through it, which is a great thing. Illumination of what didn't come into reality, where you didn't put in the work, or you know, you might have thought you did, but when you actually when you actually had a look or wrote down the things you actually gave back or did or didn't do, you're like, ooh, okay, maybe not. We have endings, beginnings, transformation. There's the Pluto card again on judgment and fates. So whatever you experienced or reverse role someone else has experienced or seeing now, they are forced to see it. I mean, judgment and fates mean things have come in that have woken them up from these toxic cycles, okay? Why I've got the Queen of Swords on the fated wheel of change. You've learnt your lesson. You've learnt your lesson. Your boundaries are up. This reminds me of, and it's interesting, we've all had something happen. We've all had an awakening. When you get the Queen of Swords, Queen of Swords does have emotions, but they guard their emotions. And the Queen of Swords knows, I'll give you an example. Where were you empathic to people who didn't deserve your empathy? Where were you compassionate, understanding, giving, supportive to people who really didn't deserve it, who really didn't? The Queen of Swords has learnt a lesson. She's guarded, he, she, they. Guarded, right? And there's a reason they're guarded. And they're like, the fates have changed, I've learnt my lesson. And you've learnt it in a positive way. Like you've now got discernment. You could have been overgiving or whatever the story is, or giving to toxic, or supporting people who did not support you. Now you've learnt your lesson. The fates are changing in your favor. And we always say that in readings and just wisdom and advice. Once you learn the lesson with the divine or your energy or yourself or your higher self, you don't have to learn that lesson anymore. That's one way to get out of cycles. And when you do know, when that fated wheel changes and moves you into a new level or moves you into a new energy or spins that wheel, that is a time where the universe or your guides or whoever have said, you've mastered this. You got this. We will now progress you forward. You never progress forward with the fates, with destiny, while you're still learning a lesson. So it's like, I'm not the same me anymore. I learnt that lesson. I was too loving, too giving, too whatever. You don't just get that now. Whatever it is, I'm just using that as an example. Out of nowhere, communication. Yeah, you're solid in who you are. Illusion, delusion. A lot of justice of imbalance. There it is, and releasing the burden. Yes, you did. You learned the lesson. Justice, you learned the lesson. Balance, commitment of imbalance, unequal give and take, reciprocity. And you're speaking up now where you didn't before. You're speaking up, you're speaking out. King of Swords, Ten of Pentacles, and strength and courage. You get the Ten of Pentacles now. You get people, places. You're making choices where people are growing with you, supporting with you. Ten of Pentacles is someone who is on the page with you. Hook, line, and sinker. There for the long haul. As supportive of you, giving as much as you are, building, protecting, there, putting in the work. The Pentacles are work. It's follow through. It's, I said I'd do this and I'm actually doing it. Pentacles are results of effort. Okay, so because of results of effort and the choices you've made and the clarity and the truth and the boundaries that you've learned to put in, you get this new inspiration, courage, and confidence, not only to move forward, but within yourself now. And that's why the fates have changed. Yeah, there's a new person in town, the Empress. He, as I always say, he, she, they, and people are going to meet a new you. And also, you are guarded. You are protecting you. I love this. The Empress is finally protecting the Empress. Because the Empress is giving, caring, loving, nurturing, okay? Helps everyone. Gives where you... So, Empress, you may have had to learn discernment. Okay, you may have had to learn about only giving Page a little bit. Yeah, and see what they bring back, see what they do. Okay, in whatever way. Okay. Yeah, and see North Node, leap of faith, oh God, my words, leap of faith into the unknown, passion and passionate new starts, but also this is you ready to move on upward and forward, because I just feel there's a new lease of energy, life, light, and whoever does come back in your life, you're manifesting your happiness, your contentment, your 10 of cups, where you can flourish, and you are going on that path. That empty cup is about to be fulfilled and filled, and that journey's coming in for you. We have the 4 of Wands and we have the 2 of Cups. So balance, and people who are equal on the same page, mindset, belief, destiny, purpose, who have the same foundations of you, who are as loyal and committed as you are, or kind, or whatever it is for you. You've all got your thing that you're looking for in someone. Yes, there's a few people here, I'm sorry to say this, I've got to say it, who didn't want to see it, didn't want to do it, disappointment, passion. You know, there could be some rushing in now, also people wanting to give, but you're going to reevaluate that. You're going to go, yes, I know you're rushing in now. It's, what do they say? A day late and a dollar short. The boat left the harbour. You don't get the old me back. I'm not as empathetic for you anymore. Whatever. I don't know. I'm not available for you anymore. I've reevaluated what you gave. I didn't want to see it, but I'm back in my power type energy, you know. And we've got healing, putting in that work, Pentacle, King, Queen of Pentacles, healing, the divine intervention is only, you've got divine protection now, you're only receiving King of Cups energy, male or female, because of hurt, because of betrayal, because of deceit, because of deception. 10 of Swords, absolute 3 of Swords, 10 of Swords is ultimate betrayal. There's communication, and anything coming in can only offer you the King of Cups. Beautiful, caring, loving, nurturing, and you have divine protection and divine intervention and timing of that. So there was a lot of hurt here. I mean, 3 of Swords, 10 of Swords, that is where you're broken to the point where you do not return the same person. You're about to be blessed, star alignment, and moving forward. We have a King of Wands here coming in, he, she, they. You are the Queen of Wands. They are coming in to stand up, defend, protect, stand 10 toes down. This person will be coming in and watched by the divine. Anyone coming in will be watched by the divine. And I'm talking people, places, situations, on anyone, friends, groups, associations. It won't matter who you contact. You're going to be overseen, watched. There's higher contract, higher protection, and all deceit, deception, any deceivers that try to collaborate with you, you'll move on from, or the universe will move them on. Okay, and that's a yes. Yep, the past is behind you. The wounded warrior, the 9 of Wands, the path. Only genuine offers now. A reset, putting in the work. You're the Queen of Cups, out in the cold with the 9 of Swords. Yeah. In other words, if you're not Queen of Cup, Queen of Wands, you're a fighter, you're a warrior, you stand up for people, and obviously with the 9 of Swords, 3 of Swords, 10 of Swords, Queen of Cups, 5 of Pentacles, yeah, nobody stood up for you. You're still looking in the distance, waiting for them to come and help, save, whatever, contact, not save, just make an effort. They didn't. They just left you there. So that's okay. That's okay. They left you out in the cold on your own. So it's like being left in the desert, so to speak, brought nothing to your table, expected everything and everything or every bit of loyalty or help or support, or they expected you to fight for them but they didn't fight for you, so to speak. It's just an analogy, or you know. So where all that's happened, you've learnt, you've changed, you've moved on, and they won't see the illusion, the delusion, the deceptions. So we do, and now you get the beautiful King of Cups, Queen of Cups on the horizon coming in to meet you where you're at. And this imbalance and this deception, they're going to bring in security and stability. It's a Tower, and that's the Temperance, that's the balance that you deserve, because that's what you gave out. So it's a bit like what you gave out is what you're going to get back finally. Anyway, I think you get the drift of Pluto, transformation, death and rebirth of the underworld, of the you know, where you need to grow, where you were imbalanced with that toxic devil card, and we've all got that. Like, it doesn't have to be dark. It could be, where were you over giving? Where were you oversharing? Where were you turning a blind eye? Where were you believing people that were lying to your face? Where were you allowing people to just fill you full of future stuff that never came through, never helped, were never there? Where were people telling you they loved you or cared for you, and, you know, nothing ever came through? Whatever it is, you know, it could be toxic addictions, anything that you were bound or trapped in that you didn't see or others didn't see. Reverse roles, you know, basically, you know, what can we call it? The awakening. Whatever awakening, yes, see, blindfolded, the coldness, lustful desires, you know, and the fight, you know, the witch, which is energy, and looking at energies and what separation, what you lost through rivals that put you in choices and they were resistant, and to the serendipity of the universe, as in them giving you gifts. The universe saying, here's your out, here's your doorway, here's your person. And them just going with lust and this and resistance and choices and rivals and coldness and energy distortion and temptations, even though they were divinely guided. And things slip away, and, you know, now they're wondering why. They've got a blindfold on with messages. Game over, like it's been shown. The universe is, and they're exhausted, unsighted. I didn't see it, you know. It's ancestral karma. Karma's growth. So, yeah, it's like anyone or anything, whether it's a person, place, or situation, a job, a career, when you take it for granted, when you think it's always going to be there, when you're good to the bad and bad to the good, I mean, at some point, the universe is going to show you your choices, show where you were resistant, show you where you were with rivals, helping rivals, enemy, frenemy camps. You know, we've all been through it this year, because I've had a lot of clients say, oh my God, this has got to be the worst year I've had, you know. And it is, because the 9's completion. You have to complete these. They have to come up in your face. That's what growth is. If you don't see it, if you walk around with a blindfold or in avoidant or dismissive or anything like that of self or others or to your behavior, your lesson in life with the universe will be one day it'll show you. That's why being awake or woke is not easy. It's looking at your dark side. That's what Pluto does. Comes in and makes you look at your dark side, at your lack side, at your where you need transformation, where you need to see the light or another perspective, or change a mindset, or take a blindfold off. Harsh realities, but it'll stop that back and forth. Yep, you might be haunted at the moment, or in a lesson, but remember, It's just about transformation. The quicker you learn the lesson and master the lesson and evolve out of that frequency, it's forgotten by everyone. So a lot of people, might be going through embarrassment, humiliation, gossip, right? There's only one way to get out of that. Learn the lesson, master it, and remove yourself and vibrate higher than the frequency that you were in. And don't go back. Don't play. Don't play back and forth with the divine. Don't learn the lesson and then repeat it 3 months down the track. That is not a learnt lesson. Master means I move on, I completed it, I retain the wisdom, I've moved on, I've learnt the lesson. That means you don't repeat it. If you repeat it at any point, you can go, oh, slap, oh, yep, I went to go there again and I stopped myself. That means you've learned the lesson, you've healed. If you're getting pulled in or you're doing it in 6 months or a year's time, or you have not mastered the lesson of that frequency. No means no, yes means yes. Okay, so don't fool yourself in thinking, yep, I've learned that, and then 3 months, a month, 6 months later, you're doing that again. That means you have not cleared that frequency or that energy cord or attachment from your frequency. And that's why we had that Queen of Swords, he, she, they, coming in. Put in the boundaries and stick to it for yourself. Okay? Growth, evolution. If you want to move out of a frequency, you have to shift from the frequency. And that means you can't go back into it, or you're still in the frequency. You have to be changed, evolved. If they've changed and evolved, great. But if you're going to circle back into a frequency or a pattern, you haven't. I'm sorry. You're back and forth with the universe. You're stuck in a loop. And that's the whole cold, hard truth. I'm sorry to deliver it, but it's time now to really elevate yourself, your frequency, out of where this player, where you play yourself, where you deceive yourself, where you decept yourself. It's a losing battle. If you're like, I'm in a losing battle, then you are engaging in those frequencies. I know, it's hard. I can deliver the message. We're all a part of it. We've all done it. We all do it. And frequencies can be mindsets, belief systems, where you're hard on yourself. It doesn't have to be, and then you will attract people in that do that to you because you do that to you. That could be as simple as it is. We all do it back and forth. Masks are off. Discoveries, see? Where are you harsh to yourself? Where do you sacrifice yourself? Where do you allow others to give you less, way less than you're giving them? We've all learned that lesson recently. Where do you offer support and loyalty to people that does not come back to you? They might say it, but do they display it? Do they follow through? No. Where were you just masked by words? We can go on and on and on. I can make a list. And that's a divine truth. And the fight you've been in was all about old wounds that had to be where you were stuck in a loop. We get it. That's what you've just been through. That's what you're currently going through. That's what all these eclipses were about. So it is just about energy. And truth is really looking at yourself. I made a whole list. I made a 2-page list about myself. And it was not pretty at all. And I had to go in and heal it and deal with the wounds, okay? And I could have done more pages, and it's okay? And I'm not saying to be super critical about yourself. I'm talking about being healthy critical. Where were you prepared to take less? Or where were you prepared to, whatever it is for you, sacrifice, I don't know, give. It doesn't have to be, you have to see this stuff as working on you, loving you, self-loving you. Okay? That's the only way I can explain it. It's going to bring evolution of your soul and your frequency. You're going through a major detox. And that will be physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual right now. That is evolving you. And I know you don't feel good right now. You will. You get through the detox. Okay? All right. Take care and really start to harness this, because the Libra energy will help you come in and balance you and really bring you into nurturing yourself and being kinder. And that is about setting boundaries. That is teaching people how to treat you, okay, in a healthy way, in a reciprocated way, in a energy frequency balanced way. Okay, not forcing someone to treat you the way you want to be treated because you want them to treat you that way. No. We're talking about natural frequencies coming together. You want to align with people who already want to do that with you, for you, who already have that mindset, who already have that frequency in them. Most people are with someone, not most, but a lot of people are with someone trying to get them to be a certain way, or become, or heal, or transform, or grow into. No. That is force. That is an imbalance in energy distortion. That means you are not a compatible match on certain levels. Energy, mind, body, soul, belief systems. We're talking about getting you into frequency balance, then work with someone. Okay, take care. Bye.